I'm Teresa Carraggio, and this is Third Paradigm. Today, I'm doing a quick episode on the proper way to throw a pity party. This is an important life skill, and one that we're all going to need in the coming years. So let's take a little time to figure out how to do it right. The first important issue is who not to invite to your pity party. Number one, people who have nothing to complain about. Come on, really? And number two, followed closely by people who have something serious to complain about. Those people are going to make you feel trivial about wallowing in your petty concerns, so let's not invite them. Number three is people who feel like they need to fix things, that they need to offer a solution. This is not the time for that. Number four are people who say every time they have a complaint, "Oh, I really shouldn't complain. Other people have it so much worse." This is not the place or the time for that. And then I'm going to add another one. Anyone who says, "Look at that blue sky behind you. Look at your beautiful garden. Look at this incredible amaryllis. What do you have to complain about?" You are not invited to my party. If you're doing a partner pity party and your partner is someone who is one of those likes to fix it people, my daughter, the newlywed, has a little habit that she's developed with her husband, which is to say when one of them has a complaint, "Do you want a puppy or do you want an answer?" And this is the time when we all want a puppy. Come on, we need at least a solid 10 minutes of being a puppy and saying, "Oh, that's so awful. Please, let me pet you. Let me make it better. Oh, I'm so sorry that happened to you." At least 10 minutes before anybody is ready to listen to a solution. But really, when it comes to a pity party, one is the loneliest number, and that's good because your objective is to feel as sorry for yourself as possible. I don't know about you, but once things start going wrong for me, I just start cataloging them. It just seems like either they happen in series or I start looking for patterns. But either way, this is your time to do a thorough catalog of everything that fate has thrown at you that is just so unfair. There are some who will give you the opposite advice. For instance, Jacques Lusseyran, who was the blind youth leader of the French resistance against the Nazis. When he was blinded at a young age, he became extremely resilient. And he has an article, an essay in here that I found so astounding that I drove once 2 hours both ways in the middle of a conference to listen to a blind poet and ask him whether he found Jacques Lusseyran credible. Because Jacques Lusseyran, in his essay in here, Against the Pollution of the Eye, and that's I as in me, myself, and, he says that the blind see. He has an essay on what the blind see. And he would talk about how he was always able to sense what was there unless he felt sorry for himself. And whenever he felt sorry for himself, he would find that objects conspired against him. They would rearrange themselves so that he would hit against them, he would trip over them. And as long as he didn't allow himself to feel sorry for himself, everything stayed exactly put. So that's one argument, but this is a guy who was captured by the Nazis, interrogated by the Gestapo, and ended up in Buchenwald, and who wrote an article about poetry and joy in Buchenwald. This is definitely not someone to invite to your pity party. What to wear to your pity party? Vandana Shiva talks about how Western pants are a prison, and the sorry is something that you can expand into infinitely. And so, I say that when you want to feel sorry for yourself, wear a sari. You knew I couldn't resist that. But seriously, be comfortable. Wear something that you feel good in. Don't wear anything that has that miserable one line of elastic that gives the lie to the fact that you are feeling like you're in good shape. So I have a friend also, my dance teacher, who told me one time when she was a teenager and there was something that she was crying so long and so hard about, that her dad said, who wasn't a religious person, give it to God and meditate on it. And she went into meditation, but in this session, she just let the belly go. She just let it be full and breathe and expand. And she had this religious experience that everything was going to be okay. And that has never repeated, but that feeling has stayed with her the rest of the life. So give it to God and give it to the belly. The next important question is what to eat. And the short answer to that is, of course, whatever you want, because you don't want to feel deprived. However, what you don't want to be deprived of is time. You don't want to deprive yourself of the time to really prepare something that's going to make you feel good, that's going to make you feel indulgent, not like something that you grabbed and just, shoved in your mouth. You want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. You're imagining that you are another person who's listening to you and who's saying, oh, honey, you need something delicious. And then make that something delicious. Preferably while listening to your pity party playlist, which everyone needs. When my youngest daughter moved to San Diego, her boyfriend made a sad boy playlist. And I think we should all have one of those. And then there's the question of what to do while you're wallowing, or maybe even when you've had kind of enough of wallowing. Sometimes I've been known to put on roller skates and skate around the kitchen while I'm cooking. That's usually effective. I also, and this is not a virtue thing, but I've been known to clean. And here's why. Because I already feel bad. Cleaning isn't going to be a waste of feeling bad. But on the other hand, who wants to waste a good mood by cleaning? So if I clean, there will be a time when I'll feel better. And when I do, I'll have a clean house. That's my logic, and I'm sticking with it. And if you can find any sun and blue sky, of course, chase it around your yard, even if it does mess up the shadows in your video. For more on this topic, I'm going to suggest what's the best that can happen, and also the Epiphany Jumpstart on Gabor Mate. Thank you for joining my pity party.